Welcome to our second episode of our ongoing Jikoni Magics 2022 Easter edition. If you missed out on our previous episode where I shared meal ideas that you can enjoy with your family and friends for Good Friday, please make sure that you go and check on the previous video. Now, let's just jump right into what we're going to be enjoying for our Saturday of the long Easter weekend. For our breakfast or brunch, depending on what time you're planning to wake up and enjoy, we are going to be having freshly brewed coffee. Please feel free to substitute this coffee with whatever, freshly squeezed juice, tea, whatever. Knock yourself out. We're also going to be having fresh mangoes all the way from my dad's farm in Kitui. Good things, I tell you, nice. We are also going to be having creamy mushroom on toast, and we are also going to be having freshly made mandazi. Not forgetting that we are also going to be having our usual suspects of sausages and bacon. So we're going to be making mandazis today. Our ingredients are cinnamon. I'll be using a teaspoon of it, 1 tablespoon margarine or butter. This is a 1/4 cup of granulated white sugar. I also have buttermilk that is homemade. This is milk at room temperature, to which I added a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, let it stand for a few minutes, and yeah, became buttermilk. And in the bowl over here, I've got 2 cups of self-rising flour. So now that everything is in the bowl, what I'll do is rub the margarine into the flour so that even the cinnamon and the sugar get mixed up properly. And after that, add the buttermilk bit by bit until the dough just comes together. We don't need for it to be wet. Remember, a little goes a very long way in this recipe. Once you're done kneading, this is the texture that you're after. Kinda shaggy, but it's important to have it as shaggy. So once it comes together, don't keep kneading it, don't let the gluten develop, that's it. So this, wrap it in a cling wrap, let it rest for about 10-15 minutes, then come back. Okay, now the dough has rested. Next is to roll it out. I already have a very detailed tutorial which I'll be linking up in the info bar above. Please make sure to click on it and learn more on how to make your mandazi. So this is the thickness that you want, not too thin, not too thick. Next, go ahead and cut out your shapes, whichever one that you want to use. So once you're done, remove the excess dough from around the mandazis. The dough that remains, just gently bring it back together. Don't knead it too much. The more you keep kneading it, the more the gluten will develop, so try and avoid that. Then the next thing is to just roll it out again and keep cutting out the shapes. So when I finish cutting maybe 2 or 3 rounds and I have a small dough like this one remaining, I don't roll it back up. I will just pick up the pieces and deep fry them as they are. The odd shapes are not bad. Nothing has to be perfect in your kitchen. However, if you want to keep going, you do it, but just know that the more you keep rolling it over and over, the tougher the dough becomes. Now on to our mushrooms. Add 2 tablespoons of oil to your pan, then add butter, about 2 tablespoons. Once butter melts, add your mushrooms. These are 250 grams per net. Start seasoning. Add thyme, freshly cracked pepper, and salt to taste. Cook until they caramelize and turn brown. Then move on to the next step where I'll be sauteing my sun-dried tomatoes. Now let's talk about the late lunch or dinner that you're going to be enjoying, depending on how hungry you'll be after you have eaten that very heavy breakfast. We'll be having tilapia, ugali, and stir-fried cabbages. Now, as for the ugali, I would have preferred to have mokimo, but I was outnumbered. If this is the kind of content that you like, please make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let's get to preparing our meals for the day. So let me tell you a bit about what I've done to the tilapia before taking it to the air fryer, because that's where I'm going to be making it. Now, this tilapia has stayed overnight in the fridge. I marinated it with some ginger, garlic. I've also salted it. The most authentic way would be to grill this fish over charcoal so that it can get that smoky aspect. I have this already on my channel where I do it over charcoal. The link is going to appear right about now on the info bar up above, so please click on it. It is good to spray some bit of oil on the food that you're air frying. However, if you do not have a spray bottle, you can use a brush to just apply a bit of oil so that the food that you're air frying can now turn a very nice brown color. It will also help the food crisp up better. So as the air fryer is going on at the back, let's now work on the sauce for the samaki wa kupaka. I have got 3 small-ish medium-sized tomatoes. I have 1 full bulb of garlic that nimetoa ngozi, goes right in there. This is ginger that is like the size of my thumb or something like that, goes inside as well. The air fryer has gone on. I'll just go check on it. Now, if your blender is strong enough, you do not need to add any more water. However, if it is not a strong enough blender, my recommendation would be to first start by blending the coconut, getting the coconut water, and then adding the coconut water here to help your ingredients along. Okay, don't add water because it's going to dilute the flavor of the food that you're making. So I'm gonna pour the mixture into the sufuria. What I usually do is I buy coconut in bulk from Wakulima market. If you want to see the video of where I did the market haul, you can check on a previous video. I'm going to put the link in the info bar up above, or maybe in the description box. Just check out for that. I'm going to blend it in here to extract the coconut milk. I also have a video on how to make coconut milk and cream. You can check that out in the description box. The other thing you should note is that this coconut that's been shredded does not actually freeze solid, so it's easy to just break off what you want and leave the rest and return it to the freezer. So I'll be using the same jug, no need to wash it out because the ingredients are still the same. So I've added about 2 cups of water in there, and next is just to blend until smooth. So squeeze out as much of the coconut juices as you can. Okay, and as you keep working, you'll notice that your hands also will start getting kind of oily. So it's a good thing working with coconut. At the bottom over here, you'll have some of this. This is quite oily, so it also goes in here. Okay, so I've brought the sufuria to the fire. It's on medium to low. What I want for right now is have it simmer slowly, okay, until it reduces and the oil separates, which will allow the onions, ginger and garlic to cook, as I said earlier. Season it lightly at this moment, because if you put a lot of salt, chances of the sauce becoming over seasoned as it reduces are very high. So occasionally come, stir, make sure that things are not burning at the bottom. And now let's look at the way the fish has turned out. Okay, beautiful. You could also use the oven if you so wish, especially if you're making a lot of fish, and the air fryer can be a bit limiting on the volume. So now what I'll do is I'll remove this and put in the heads, and we call it a wrap. So this is the consistency I'm looking for. I've just turned off the heat. The oil already separated, just that I have stirred it together and it's come together. Yeah, so you want it to be something like this, so that when you add your coconut cream, it does not split up. And please note, we did not add any color to this. It's all naturally from the tomatoes. Something else you should remember is that this coconut sauce should be sweet, sour, salty, and spicy hot. Now, during this part, I really cannot tell you how much of what to add. Okay, so I'm going to start by adding ukwaju. If you don't have tamarind, you could also go ahead and add lemon, but tamarind would be the best in this instance. I'm going to start with about a teaspoon or so, stir it in, and then taste it. It's good to taste your tamarind before starting, so that you can tell if it is too bitter, because not all tamarind is the same. Then next, I'm going to add some bit of honey. I personally prefer to have my sauce more on the sweeter side than the sour side, but again, it's up to you. So this is a really personal balancing act. That's all I can say. So as you add each ingredient, you taste it. Make sure you taste after every step. So once you're satisfied with the balance of flavors, just turn on the heat for about 2-3 minutes, let it simmer, and then you go and start applying on your fish. We are now at the part where samaki wa kupaka really applies. So samaki wa kupaka means fish that has been applied on, like literally applied on, which is what we're doing, just applying the sauce. So we will air fry one side, bring it out, turn it over, apply, do that 3 times on each side. So now it's time to stir fry the cabbage. Those are 2 onions. I'll just saute them until translucent. Next, I'll be adding a teaspoon of curry powder. Cook this for just a minute for the raw taste of the curry powder to disappear. And then to that, I'll be adding the carrots. Season it. Crack in some pepper. And then once the carrots have just started softening, I'll throw in the cabbages. And I'll also be adding a red bell pepper or pili pili hoho. Let's make the cabbage attractive. Stir frying the cabbages is so fast, so my advice would be do it as the last thing, and make sure that all your ingredients are chopped up, ready to go. Don't start chopping onions, you're here to do cabbages, yeah. And finally, here is our Saturday lunch stroke dinner. Enjoy yourself. This is extra sauce for whoever wants to just maybe slather more onto their fish. If you have not watched the other episode, please go and watch the Good Friday meal plan. Otherwise, let's meet in the next one where we will be talking about our Easter Sunday meal plan. It's going to be a vibe. Don't miss it. Before I sign out, I have to taste this. I have to, of course, give you a verdict on how much I love it, because I know I'm going to. Lazima ufinye ugali. Okay? And some bit of the tilapia. Okay. I have to be careful not to pick the bones. Okay, some bit of the veggies. Let's meet again on our Easter Sunday meal ideas. So until then, bye bye.